Good morning, everyone. My name is Carla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I enjoy, which lately has been paper crafting and making little golden book journals, and a little bit of life thrown in. So today is Sunday, April 17th. Happy Easter for those of you who celebrate Easter, and a very happy Passover to those of you who celebrate that. I was at my brother's this weekend. I was off on Friday because I do work for pretty observant Catholics, and they close the office on Friday, so I reaped that benefit of having Good Friday off. So I was able to go over early in the day on Friday instead of after work and help with the preparations for the Seder for the first night. And we had a really fun time. Friday night was the first night of Passover, the first Seder, and we had, I would say, a pretty traditional sort of Seder, geared towards the children. So it wasn't, it wasn't like an Orthodox, very solemn, whatever. Not a Seder. Seder isn't really a solemn thing anyway, but it was sort of geared towards the kids, very, very kid-friendly way of presenting the Passover story and going through the Haggadah, which is the sort of book that we use that puts all of the pieces of the Seder in order. The word Seder actually means order, and so there are certain things that you have to do during the course of the meal. And you explain the things on the Seder plate, and and you do ritual washing of the hands and prayers over the wine, and just the typical things. But there is a specific order in which you do them, and you tell the story of the Exodus out of Egypt is basically what it is. And yeah, it's the same thing every year. That is, I'm sure you guys are familiar with the song from Fiddler on the Roof, Tradition, and that is a lot of what Jewish celebrations are. It's tradition, and we do the same thing every year as a way to keep our heritage alive. So anyway, the first night Seder on Friday was pretty traditional and fun. And then last night on Saturday, which is the second night Seder, we went completely out of the box. Of course, credit has to be given 100% to Stacy. I don't think that she actually made this up. She saw it somewhere, saw the idea, but she ran with it. She made a Haggadah. It was a chocolate Seder. And so basically we substituted all of the Seder components, the food components, basically for sort of candy things. So instead of wine, we had chocolate milk, and we kind of altered the prayers. So the typical prayer over the wine, you would say, blessed be God who created the fruit of the vine. So we said, blessed be God who created the fruit of the vine and chocolate milk. We said it in Hebrew. And so all of the little components that are part of like the Seder plate and the Seder meal, we still talked about them, but there was a substitute. So in other words, we have something that's called charoset. I think I talked about that last week, which is basically, for Ashkenazi Jews, it's a mixture of chopped apples and nuts and wine and cinnamon. And it's supposed to represent the mortar the mortar of the bricks that the Jews had to use in their slave labor. So instead of that, for charoset on the chocolate Seder, we had chocolate frosting that had like marshmallows mixed in, and just kind of fun stuff like that. So we did the same story, the same learning about the story of Passover, but just with like a little fun twist. So that was really fun. They had a couple friends over, so I got to meet some new people. That was great, and we had a really good time. And the Seder ended really early that day. We started at like 4:30, so they left around 7-ish. And of course we had eaten a ton of like chocolate and sugar and stuff like that. We hadn't actually had food food. So we kind of all had like a snack at like 8:30. We actually got tacos because taco shells are corn, and we can have that on Passover. So there are different people who follow different sorts of rules. Some people eat rice, some don't. Some eat corn, some don't. So there's different rules for what is considered kosher for Passover. But in our family's tradition, corn is okay, so we were able to have tacos with corn shells. Anyway, we had a lot of fun. I always have fun over at my brother's house, just hanging with them and, you know, spending time, getting some puppy love. I get lots of kitty love here, and I'm surprised that he hasn't been over here yelling at me, because he usually wants to get involved in the videos on days when I was gone the night before. But not yet. Maybe later in the video, Baggy will make an appearance. But when I'm over at Aaron and Stacy's, I get puppy love. And actually, last night I got 2 puppies on me all night. It was really sweet. So, yeah, so I got to snuggle with the doggies instead of the kitties last night. And we got to play D&D, which we hadn't done for several weeks, so that was fun. I summoned a monster from another plane to get us out of an acid pit. I felt very, very wise, and like I had played the game well yesterday, so it was lots of fun. So again, today's Easter. I do not celebrate Easter, although I gotta say, I really kind of like Easter candy. I've been jonesing for Peeps. I saw some YouTube video where they were doing all kinds of stuff with Peeps this week. And I succumbed. I ordered some Peeps. So I have Peeps coming today from Amazon. I know they're not really great for me, but you know what? It's once a year. You got to eat a Peep. So I'm going to have some Peeps today. And then tomorrow is the 18th. And it's my mom's birthday. So I'm going to spend the day thinking about her, wishing her a happy heavenly birthday. And yeah, I miss her. I tell you guys that all the time, and no surprise, I miss my mom, but I hope that she is having joy and peace in her life beyond this world. So anyway, okay, so Zoom reminder, we have our next Zoom Stitchy meetup scheduled for 2 weeks from yesterday, I believe, which is April 30th, and it will be at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So I have not determined yet when we will schedule it in May. Probably, it might just be actually 2 weeks after that. I don't know. I know I'm going over Aaron Stacy's around the 30th, I think. I don't know. I have to look at my calendar. We talked about it this weekend, and it has gone out of my head. I think I'm going to schedule it maybe for, it's either going to be a Sunday afternoon or Friday night this time, but I have to look at the calendar and see. If you have a vote, go ahead and put it in the comments, and I will try and take that into consideration. If I get a ton of people who are saying, please do it on Friday night, then maybe I will. I was talking to somebody on Instagram who was like, he's not gonna be able to come to the Zoom meetup this year because of the time, or this month because of the time. And as I said, that's fine. You know, I'm committed to doing this at least once a month, and so there's going to be plenty of times for you to join. So if one doesn't work, please don't feel bad. Nobody is upset. Of course, we'll miss you, but there'll be another one around the corner. So just keep checking. Okay. There was one thing that I kind of just wanted to mention on my channel, because somebody had asked me questions, and I've gotten questions on this before. When I do my cross stitching, I stitch each X. I stitch a full X and then go on to the next one. I've done that from the very beginning. I do it on every project. That's the only way I stitch. And I started stitching that way. I hate to say I learned to stitch that way, because I feel like stitching for me, I had enough background that it wasn't like I didn't know how to stitch, but I didn't have any formal, like, this is how you cross stitch. I just kind of sat down and started doing it, having had needlepoint in my background and embroidery that I had done years ago and all that kind of stuff. I kind of knew basically how to use the needle and thread, and so cross stitch wasn't that much different. It's just, you know, counting and using cross stitch type fabric. So when I started cross stitching, I started by completing full X's, and I do that in every project I do, whether it is full coverage or not full coverage, whether I'm using DMC or a variegated overdyed floss. That's just how I stitch. I know there's lots of people who stitch, like they'll stitch one leg all the way across and then go back. And they do this for lots of reasons. There he is. All right, come here. Come here. Do people want to see? Do people want to see you? Oh. Come on. Oh my God, you're a heavy baby. You are a heavy baby. The people last night were asking me about him because they are, they take care of they foster cats, ill cats, a lot of them. And we were talking about animals, and I was talking about my cat, and they're like, and I was saying he's big, and they're like, well, how much does he weigh? And I'm like, oh, maybe 15, 20 pounds. I just lifted him up. I don't know. This guy is big, 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 big. Way bigger than Aaron and Stacy's 2 dogs. Maybe put together. Oh, he's a needy baby. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for making an appearance bigger. What was I saying? Oh, about people who stitch across one leg and back. Some people do it and do like one leg as a way to kind of like mark the pattern, and then they can go back, like let's say they're traveling or going to be on a plane or something, and they can cross all the legs without having to look at a pattern. When certain stitchers will show you their backs, and their backs are super neat. A lot of times if the backs are super neat, it's because that's the method they're stitching. Because when you go across one leg or one way using only one leg and then go back, oftentimes the pattern that's made on the back is a lot neater than stitching full crosses. So there's advantages and disadvantages. Stitching all the way across and going back is faster. However, in full coverage, I think going all the way across and going back contributes to getting lines in your pattern. That could be wrong, but I think because it's a tension thing. It really is a matter of preference, though. There's no one right way to do things. Now, obviously, if you're using a variegated floss and you want to keep the variegation, and you want that variegation to show, rather than being like tweeted where the colors kind of get mixed up, you need to do full crosses as you go across. But other than that, and again, that's a choice on how you want it to look. But there's no right way or wrong way. So don't let anybody tell you, in my opinion, don't let anybody tell you you're not doing it right, or that's not how you're supposed to do it, or your back shouldn't look like that, or whatever. In my personal opinion, as long as it looks good on the front and the back is not so messy that it shows through, or you have big fat lumps or something like that, that's going to affect the way it looks when it's fully finished, then as long as you get the stitches on the fabric, you're doing good. And find what is comfortable for you. Find what works and what gives you joy as far as stitching. If you are stressing so much about doing it right that you're not enjoying it, then that is the only time that I would say that you're doing it wrong. You should be doing it so that it brings you joy and comfort, and anything other than that is not something to worry about. So that's my PSA for today. Okay, so on to the crafting stuff. My little golden book update. I don't have really anything new to show you today. I did work on books all week, but I didn't complete anything. I do kind of do things in assembly line fashion. I don't even know if that's the right way to say it. Like, I spent one night and I had like half an hour or something while I had something in the oven cooking, and I made some spines. So, I mean, this is not an exciting thing to see, but each book I make needs one. And so it's faster for me to kind of cut out all of the chipboard and cut out all of the lighter cardboard and just put a bunch together at one time. And then when I go to put together a book, I have the spines ready. I also tend to kind of like prepare the covers kind of several books at a time. In other words, I will tear them apart, pull out the tear them apart gently, pull out the signatures gently, cut the spines, glue the edge down, put on my corner pieces and the grommet, or whatever you want to call it, you know, the circle, the grommet. I call them a grommet. I don't know if that's the right word, but I'll do that for 3 or 4 books. Like, let's say I have half an hour, you know, when I get home from work, to do a little bit of a little golden book work, and that's what I'll do. So it's not stuff that I can show until I get the book finished. I did some organizing. I had ordered some new buttons and I color coded them so that when I do put together books, it's easier to like say, okay, I'm using pink and green for this book, so here's my bag of pink buttons, here's my bag of green buttons, so I can do the spines that way. So that's the kind of stuff I did this week. I pulled papers for a couple books, and which is, again, is like a color kind of coding thing where I'm looking for the colors, the papers that look good together in a certain color family. So I did that for a couple books, and I did some spines, and I did some organizing. So I did work on the books this week, but I didn't actually finish anything that I can show you. So that's probably how it'll be. I'll have weeks where I do a lot of these kind of organizational and preparatory things, and then I'll have weeks where on Saturday I'll sit down and I'll actually finish 2 or 3 books, and then I'll have them show you. I did, because I was over at Erin and Stacy's, I did give Reagan the Lilo and Stitch book, and she did love it. And I think she wants another one. I think her plan is to use it almost like an autograph album, where she's going to take it to cheer and have her coaches write in it, and, you know, take it to competitions and have fellow teammates write in it. Her friend that was over last night is actually moving in June, so she had her sign it on you know, on one of the little tags and stuff, and then she tucked that back in. I'm actually going to make her friend a book, so we talked about that and like what is her favorite character kind of thing, and so I'm going to make her a book that with a little golden book Tigger theme. And I also gave a book to Stacy's mom, which was the Pokey Little Puppy that I showed you guys. So I gave that to her to look at. She also has a connection with the sisterhood at the synagogue I used to attend, so she's going to show it to them and see if it's something that they think that people might want, possibly in the gift shop, or she also said that they have a luncheon coming up in June that they could raffle off a couple. Obviously that would be for charity, so I would be donating that, but she said last year they had an artist who kind of did that, and they had a piece that was donated, but then they also kind of took orders for the artist, so same kind of thing. And then I also gave Stacy her birthday present. It's a couple weeks early. Her birthday's at the end of the month, but I won't be with them that weekend. So I had made, this is the thing that I haven't shown you guys, I made a altered book. It's not a little golden book, it's a bigger book, of Strawberry Shortcake, because Strawberry Shortcake was her favorite character growing up, and I went on eBay and I found a book. I was really excited to do this. This was the first altered book I did, and I made it for her and gave it to her, and she really liked it. And I actually, before I gave it to her, I did a little video of it, because obviously I couldn't show it to you guys before I gave it to her, because she watches my channel. So anyway, so I think that's gonna go up this Wednesday. I'll give you guys a walkthrough of the strawberry shortcake book that I made for Stacy as an extra video. So anyway, everybody who got a book really enjoyed them. We're very happy with them and thought that they were really adorable and cool and, you know, just fun things to go through. I believe Stacy's going to use her book kind of as a inspiration book. She does attend some meetings where they talk about kind of inspirational things, and she does that a couple times a week. She goes to these types of meetings, and there's a lot of stuff that she wants to remember and think about, and they discuss some books and stuff like that. And so she's gonna have a lot of things to tuck in there that she wants to revisit. So yeah, so I'm excited that these books are gonna get use and enjoyment, and that makes it extra fun for me to do them. So as I said, I gave them away, and I came out of the weekend with a couple more books that need to be made, and people that they're going to go to. So that's kind of exciting. Okay, so I think that's it as far as my little golden books for right now. I have like stitching haul to show you later, but because most of my craft money the past couple weeks has been spent getting stuff that's more for the books. Like I've went on Joann's and they were having sales on a bunch of like spring ribbon. This one was on a spool, but I took it off because I'm thinking these spools take up a lot more room than they need to. Look at, isn't that cute? I mean, I realize it was on sale because it's like an Easter ribbon, but just because it's carrot doesn't mean it has to be Easter. I just thought it was really cute, and it would go with any book that has bunnies in it. But all of these ribbons from Joann were on their spring sale, and I got them all for pretty low prices. So that was exciting to me. So that's kind of the haul stuff that I got, is ribbons and paper and stuff like that from Joann's. Okay, so on to the stitching stuff. I don't have any new starts this week or finishes, and I worked on 4 whips, which doesn't feel like a lot. It was like a short week as far as stitching for me because of going over to Aaron Stacy's early. But I did do a little bit of stitching. So I worked on my little snapdragon named Jack. I've named him Jack because Jack was my grandpa's name, and the snapdragons reminded me of my grandpa. And that's where he is. So you definitely can see his cute little face now. And this is the start of his wing. And I got a text message from Julie from Stitching at the Cabin that she finally started her snapdragon a couple days ago. So yay! So we're stitching snapdragons together. Okay, night creatures. I think I might be stitching on this one today because I'm at that point where I feel a finish coming on. This is the chart by The Gathering Place. I changed the colors quite a bit to make it a little bit more me. This chart was a gift from Michelle Bendy Stitchy, and I'm stitching it with assorted flosses, but a majority of them are from Mystical Diamond Art. And oops, let me get the needle minder out of the way. So this time I worked on these 2, well actually there's 3 because this pod wasn't done. So I did that pod, that kind of half a pod, and then I worked on that one and that one. And so I'm probably going to finish these and then go back to the bottom to finish that. But I feel like I'm really close to this being a finish, so I really want to work on it and get it done. I need to get a couple more finishes under my belt because I keep starting these like really big projects, which doesn't really bother me except that I still want finishes. So yeah, I'm anxious to actually work on this one and get it done. Biancabella. And as I said, I started this one because she just makes me think about my mom. Oh. Okay, I had it all folded up so that stitching is nicely tucked inside, but that doesn't really help when I want to show it to you guys. So there we go. Again, doesn't look like anything yet. It's kind of on, oops. It's like right in here in her skirt. And then, come on. And then last but not least, I brought sampler of Shaw over with me when I went over to Erin and Stacy's. Oh my gosh, there's a huge cobweb that is floating in my open window right there. I don't dust very often. So when I go over to Erin and Stacy's, I have a couple projects that I tend to bring just because they're easy to travel with and not a lot of colors. Like this one is basically, I just use a couple skeins of Sulky or spools of Sulky on it. So this is a sampler of Shaw by Jardin Privé. This is on a 20 count ice blue Aida, again with Sulky. And I didn't get a lot done on it yesterday. I was hoping to try and get this tree finished. It was done to about like there, so I got this top section done. But I might actually take an hour or so today and just finish that part just so I can get the tree done. And so that when I go over next time and if I bring this, I can move on to something else. So I definitely want to stitch today. I don't think that, my back is kind of hurting. I don't think I'm going to do any working at my desk here doing golden books today. I think it's going to be stitching today. So maybe I'll work on that. Okay. Now, as far as haul, I don't really have anything to show you. As I said, I've been getting ribbons and stickers and postcards and things for the golden books. Like this ribbon is just really pretty, and it's especially nice when you got a whole spool of it for under $2. So that was nice. But I did put out an extra video on Wednesday, and I would like to encourage you guys to go check that out. because any haul that I've done recently, some of it you've seen, but some of it you haven't. And basically that video is all about using printed fabrics that I've gotten from, mostly from Dove Stitch. So they're Fabric Flair printed fabrics. Mirabilia / Nora Corbett, because I'm not sure if they're Mirabilias or Nora Corbett's. I think they're Mirabilias, but they're the Bewitching Pixies. So they're the assorted witches in sort of the kind of monochromatic gowns. I mean, there's 3 or 4 colors in each gown, but it's like 3 or 4 colors of red, or 3 or 4 colors of blue, or teal. But anyway, so the different pixies in these background, on these background fabrics. So my ideas for those, and how I kind of in my head have planned to do them. So I don't want to like do it again in a regular video, show you guys those kinds of things, but please go check that out. Let me know what you think. I think I'm going to start one soon. I'm not sure exactly which one I have to, you know, I like them all, so it's going to be hard to pick, and I don't want to start like 6 of them all at once. That's ridiculous. I would rather start 1, maybe 2, and get them done, and then do the other ones. But I don't know. I don't know which one I'm going to do first. So take a look. Give me your ideas. Which one you think I should start first? Maybe, I don't know. But I'd like you to check those out if you are interested. Okay, so that was kind of, my haul is shown in that video. And I think that brings us to basically back to the giveaways in honor of my mom's birthday. So, as I said last week, I'm kind of going to hold off on actually mailing these till the end of the month. Because if somebody wins more than one, then I can stick it in one envelope. I did say at the beginning I would prefer to only send these to people in the US, but I don't think I repeated that the second week. So I did have people who entered and won who aren't from the US. It's okay. Those just might take a little bit longer if I have to go to the post office and I can't do the postage from my home office postage meter. I don't know if I can or not. I'll have to check. But anyway, so let me go through the ones from last week. No, that's the first week. So yeah, so I'm going to hold off on sending them until the end, so that if anybody wins multiples, then it can all go in one envelope. And I think I maybe heard from everybody last week that had won. So if there's anybody over the course of this thing that I don't get their address, you know, by the middle of May, I guess, then I'm just gonna, you know, put them back in my to be given away later pile. Okay. Oh, and then if you do win, you could send me an email. However, I do prefer that you contact me through Instagram, only because I don't have a special email for, you know, my YouTube stuff. It's my regular email, and it's much more likely to get lost in my email, or just be overlooked, or I'll look at it and I think, okay, I'll check that later, and then, you know, I forget. So if it's on my Instagram, all of my Instagram private messages are mostly FlossTube and stitching community related, so it's easier for me to kind of find them there. Okay, so the ones that we did from the last video, first one was this cute pattern, Jolly Claus and Merry Mrs. Claus by Stitching with the Housewives, and this one is going to GaRon G. J-E-R-E-N-E-G. Congratulations. Then we have the Cat Lovers pattern, Lizzie Kate. This was very popular, and it is going to Rhonda Wise. So Rhonda, please send me your email, and if you've sent me your email in the past, please just send it again so I don't have to search for it. Yeah, don't expect me to be a level of organized that is beyond my capabilities right now. So please just send it again. This is the wedding vow. This is going to Denise Gray. Ballet Girl is going to Karen Danielle, or Daniel. And Autumn Leaves, this pretty canted canvas pattern by From Nancy's Needles, is going to Susan Silver. So congratulations all you guys. Please send me your addresses and I will, as I said, get these mailed out at the end of the month. Okay, then we have more. Again, this is all in honor of my mom's birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday, Mama. Mama Abrams. Okay, so the first one is this DMC home kit. We're going to use the word home. This is an interesting kit. It comes with a printed fabric, so a lot of it's not all stitched. It comes with a printed fabric and 3 DMC flosses. And so you're like stitching accents on this. Sort of all of these. So not, the house is like accented and like all of these little sort of quilty accent things are what you're using or what you're stitching. So we're going to use the word home for this one. Okay, now this is obviously something I stitched. This was actually my very first cross stitch project, and as you can see, I cut the cover. So it's basically, it's just the pattern and, you know, just a picture from the cover. So yes, it is used. The pattern has a little bit, not very much, but it has a little bit of highlighting on it, like that in yellow. And it's just the pattern. It doesn't have the flosses with it. And because it was the acrylic wool flosses that come with Riolas, I may have a few samples left. I'll have to look and see. I don't know if I still have them, but if I have some sample colors, some samples of the flosses that were used in this, I will send that, just the samples, so you can see colors. But other than that, you're gonna have to kind of pick colors yourself. You're gonna have to just kind of look through your floss stash and figure it out. Oh, I'm holding it the wrong way. But anyway, this is Bluebells by Riolas, and it is, you know, a past the pattern after it is used. That, you know, I'm trying to be 100% honest here. It is used. If you are not interested in the used pattern, then please don't enter for this one. But we're going to use the word blue. Okay, the third one we're going to do this week is by the Trilogy, Cat Treats. Very cute. Personally, I would probably brighten it up, but it is cute as is, definitely. And we're going to use the word treat. Yeah, treat, because we used cat last week. So let's use treat this week. Fourth one, this is by Bobby G Designs. It's called Southwest Sun. And it calls for, it's all DMC that it calls for. And we're going to use the word sun, S-U-N. And last but not least, this is Designer Series by Sudbury House. And it is Welcome. And I got this pattern because I just loved the blue morning glory flowers. I think it's really pretty. But I decided to pass it along. And let me see. It's charted in both DMC and Anchor Floss. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's very pretty. So we're gonna use the word welcome. So please do not say giveaway, say win, say any of the words that you know that bring out the trolls. You don't have to be subscribed to my channel, although it would be nice. I hope that if you are watching enough to enter for giveaways, that you like my channel enough to subscribe and hit like and all that stuff. But yeah, and so we'll do the drawing for this one next week. And then I have one more packet of giveaways. And then I'll get out all of these to you guys. I think that's going to be about it for this week. I feel like I'm running a little bit late today. It's 11 o'clock. It's a lot later than I usually film, only because I was at Aaron and Stacy's, and you know, my alarm went off at 7:30, and I got up and, you know, did my morning stuff and got on the road by 8. So I didn't get home till like 8:30, and, you know, needed to brush my hair a little bit and put on some makeup, and, you know. So by the time I got going and did my notes, now it's 11. So I'm going to upload my video. Excuse me. Hopefully it will upload quickly. You never know with YouTube. Sometimes it's a snap and sometimes it takes hours. So whenever it goes up, I hope you guys enjoy watching. Again, I hope you're having a wonderful holiday weekend if you celebrate any of the holidays this weekend. If you don't, then I hope you're having a great Sunday, you know, because weekend's the weekend. I was telling Aaron and Stacy, it's like, I need a vacation from work. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything except like clean my apartment and stitch a lot and do crafts. I need a couple days off. So I'm trying to work that out with my boss, because he's in and out of the office in the next last several weeks, and the coming month he has all this traveling to do, and he doesn't like it when I'm out. When he's not there, so I'm gonna have to wait till he's done with his stuff. But then I'm gonna take a week and try and refresh my mind. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a great time. I hope you're enjoying all the new stuff that I'm showing you. I'm really enjoying doing the little golden books. Again, I don't have a plan per se for them, other than just doing them, giving some away, and then maybe in the future thinking about, you know, seeing if there is a way to get some of the money I've put out back. I definitely will be giving one or two away on the channel in the next several months, so keep a lookout for that. Maybe I'll make a couple and I'll give them away for my birthday. That gives me till August. So yeah, so maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll make 4 and I'll give one away every week in August. What do you guys think about that? Put your votes in for what would be a book that you would really enjoy winning, and I'll make a list and see what the consensus is. I know several people have said Alice in Wonderland they really like, and several people have said Winnie the Pooh they really like, and I do have both of those books. Several of both of those books, so I could definitely do those. Yeah, so I think that's a plan. I'm going to keep that in mind, and I think that, yeah, that in August, which is my birthday month, I will give away a little golden book journal, handmade by me, one a week for the entire month of August. So I think that's a good idea. So yeah, just check in, making sure I didn't forget anything, and I didn't. So happy stitching, you guys. I hope you get a lot of stuff done this week, And I hope I get a lot of stuff done this week. I feel like I didn't stitch very much this week. I mean, I showed you stuff, but I had little dribbles on each of my projects. So I want to get a little bit more done because I keep adding projects, and I need to work on them and get them finished, get them on my finish list. But until I see you guys again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.